He's one of my training dogs here. He's like, Julie! This is Mr. Parker, and I won't have you say hi or look at him or do anything. There's nothing wrong, just obviously being distracted. Normal. This is all normal, right? Yeah. So you see how he's jumping, and I'm just going to kind of ignore him and walk away. He didn't want the treats I had right away, so we'll see. Your mom's over there, but you haven't seen her yet. Yes, there you go. Oh, your feet. So how many dogs of yours look like this? Right? Normal dog. Oh, no more. Yes. What's this? What's this? Does you even want cheese? You don't want cheese? So if your anxiety is a little too high tonight, we'll try something else too. There we go. He comes to daycare or no? Yeah, okay. But that, he might also be like, oh, I'm going home now. Yes. There you go. And this is where too, like I want everybody to understand when they come into class next week, the first 1 to 3 minutes is also where I want you to walk in with a purpose, but then go to your spot and then actually see, there you go. If you go to your spot where your coat is, there'll be a little like, almost like a square area. And if you kind of just think of like, hey, I'm going to do this little square, and I'm just going to ignore the dog. I'm just going to let them smell, let them be a dog, let them have a moment, let them settle because they're going to be in a new environment and not require anything. Then as they start to settle, you're going to find out if your dog is hungry enough. Because that's, again, where if you work this whole week teaching them how to work for food, then they should come in hungry enough for some of the high values that they want the high value. Like, turn around. Can you smell her now? She's in the room. Yeah, very good. So, but even praise, right? So you didn't jump. I can say yes and praise. But all of these behaviors there are normal, right? And so you need a hungry dog in order to reward the dog. Or we need like a toy or something of that sort. Does he like different speed toys and things too? Or not really?
Oh, they don't last long.
Okay, no, but he likes them.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. Make sure she actually says it. What's that? What's that? It smells like a dog. Sorry. Good. Very good. He's like, I don't know about this place. I don't know about this lady. But all of this, again, I would rather, so if he jumps up, I'm going to just come down and be like, yes. Wednesday? Oh, you're allowed. Your mom says you're allowed. Like, I don't know. I'm not hungry. Good. Yes, there you go. Nice job. Very good. And every interaction, right, doesn't have to be bad. It just has to be positive. We have to try to get him to understand that he's not going home. I do think he actually thinks that you're out there and he's going home from daycare. But he's also not hungry. So do you see how your dog, you can come up, yeah, let's come up for a second. I'm not going to let him jump on you, but there she is. Let's come on up for a second. There you go. And see if he'll take anything from you. See just a little bit. Just show it to him. Yep, there you go. Perfect. You show it to him, and then just see if he'll take it from you. There you go. Oh. Yes, there you go. Yeah, there we go. All right, we're going to have you up here. You get to train your dog right away. Go ahead. Well, yeah, for a second. I think he was just like, I need to go home, too. There you go. You going to take it from me now? I'm not the enemy. I'm not the enemy. Yes, there you go. There you go. Woohoo! All right. So obviously, as she said, dog's a jumper, right? And so everything that we do at this point, if you're looking at him when he's trying to come out, I would ignore him. Like just eyeballs rolled to the sky, right? And excuse me, one of the very first things I know you wanted to work on was the jumping. And if we have him even just touching or self-reinforcing, the very first thing we start with is just stepping on the leash. So I'm going to have you, it's a little tricky with the tags there we go. Just step on it about right there. You got it. And just then, maybe right there a little bit. There we go. Perfect. And then just ignore him. Don't look at him. Don't do anything. And let him do his kangaroo hopping. So, right, it's tricky, right? Because you want to look down. How many of us want to look down? But we want to just let him go through all this and ignore. Just for a second. I know it's tricky. But now, yes.
Yes.
And pay if you have food, otherwise I'll give you some. He's like, not that. You know what that stuff? What's that stuff? He's like, man, you're changing my routine. What the heck? What the heck? I have cheese. You try cheese? Right? And it just becomes that everything, going back to what we just started off in the whole very beginning, what works gets repeated. So how much has he jumped on you since you've had him?
Just now.
A lot. Since you've had him, period. A lot.
Oh, yeah.
Probably, right? So we have to now break it down into now it doesn't work anymore. So every time he's on the ground, yes. Whoa, look at that. There you go. You take it. Yeah, okay, perfect. There we go. Because then now, off. Yes. Good. Remove your foot. All right, turn away. And then as soon as we turn away, off. Yes. There, good. And I said yes, so I will pay. Habit, changing habit, right? Okay. Good time. Hey, Madison, can you shut that gate? Thanks. I want a little bit of freedom because of his anxiety. I want a little bit of freedom to go that way. Thank you. Yes, there you go. Whoa, score. And all I want to start with a lot of times is not necessarily off, but even just eye contact. So if he looks at me, yes, I can pay. And then I can move to another new spot. And then if he looks at me and he wants to jump, I turn and go, nope, no eye contact, no touching, no nothing. And then I can also, yep, you got it. And then when he's on the ground, right, off, yes. It's like, what the heck is going on here? Off. And so if I say off and he jumps, then I say why yes? No, because he's going to make mistakes. I'm sure all of you in the room are perfect and never make mistakes, right? Ever. Good. Off. Yes. Very good. Nice job. Man. Okay, yours me when I jump. Just turn. You got it. And then turn back. And you go back to exactly what you were doing. Turn away. Turn back. There you go. Don't jump in on strangers. Oh, hello, hi. So there's the lure, right? He likes the treat. Pull the treat away. When he looks at me, see what he does. You're fine. You're fine. Parker, yes. So I wait for him to look at me, and then I say his name. So the very first homework is eye contact and what we call name recognition. I want him knowing without a doubt what his name actually means. Just prevent jumping on strangers. But I want him then making sure that he looks at me first. So if I have the food and I pull the food away, right, then I have to have him make a decision. Does he look at my hand or does he look at my eyeballs? Most dogs will be standing and looking at the food. Where's he looking? Right? Because that's the paycheck. How many of you just focus on the paycheck? But if you bring the paycheck away, then you have to get the attention. And when I get the attention, Parker, yes, then I pay. So the food is the last step. Eye contact is the definition. Step 1, get the definition you want. His name is step 2, the cue for the command, right? Step 3 is to mark it, yes. And step 4 is to pay it. So I have food on me right now. I can show him I have something. I can pull it away. Parker, yes. He can offer sitting down and everything, right? Because he's probably like, hey, what do you want? Oh, you okay? But all I want is eye contact. So then I bring him to the right-hand side of me. Did you kind of see how I did that? He's like, I saw, but I don't know what's going on here. There you go. He's like, there's some freebie. Yep. Totally. He's like, wait a minute, I don't have to work for it. I mean, come on, if you don't have to work for it, you get paid. But if I bring him to the right-hand side of me and pull it away, Parker, yes. And then also, I don't know if he walks on your left or your right, but your left side, you got it okay? All right, there you go. But the left side, Parker. He said, I did a hit and run. The hit and run is like, eye contact. Good. Parker, yes. And I don't want the down. I don't need the shake. Freebie, yep. I don't need anything except eye contact, so I ignore everything else offered until he just looks at me, right? So eye contact is the very first homework assignment you want to work on. Why? Attention means everything. If all you teach your dog is attention and to come when told, you don't need any other obedience cue. can get them out of any bad situation. They're looking at a squirrel, you say their name, or you call them. They're going to go across the street, you say their name, or you call them. So any bad situation, you can actually get them out of. They're barking at something, say their name, or call them. So if all you ever teach is eye contact and recall, you actually don't need anything else, because you have what you need. But we teach everything else because there are more tools in our toolbox. Oh, very good. Jumping never works. If he likes the scent of my hand, I just move my hand. Jumping never works. Off. Yes. He's like, this leg is broken. It doesn't work right. We're breaking your mother now, too. Mother's not going to work right later either.
He knows not to even come to
He's like, so here I am kind of taunting him, right? Hi, Parker, come. Yes, good. Leading me into the recall. Very good dog. If I'm by myself and I don't have helpers at home, then I do something like this. I throw the treat. Parker, come. Yes. Where did I say C-O-M-E? Where did I say C-O-M-E? What was he doing when he heard C-O-M-E?
He was running to you.
Running to me, right? So if I toss the food this way, and then I go to another room of the house, Parker, come. Whoa. He's like, I choked. Parker, come. Yes. If he doesn't follow through, like, I'd like to leave. She's making me work. But if he doesn't follow through, then I don't say YES, so he doesn't get paid. That's kind of why the 4 steps are also very effective, is that they learn very quickly that if they don't hear yes, try something else. And later we'll fade from that. But right now, I want him thinking that everything is a very, very fun game. Parker, come. Yes. He's like, whoa, playroom. Parker, come. Yes. Whoa, fly by. So eye contact, one of the first ones. Parker, come. Yes. Recall, starting with the second homework. And then I also start kind of in between all these, you would be doing 3 to 5 minutes of eye contact, right? Giving him a break. 3 to 5 minutes of recall, giving him a break. 3 to 5 minutes of touch. Now touch, I usually put a piece of food under 2 fingers and I just hold it there. And when his nose touches me, I go touch, yes, and pay. So my thumb just comes off of the tree. No worries.
What if they're real tiny dogs and you almost have to get on the
Touch,
ground?
yes. So, good question. So, same thing, you can always change the picture to lower, because he's a little shorter too. But you can also use like a wooden spoon. Like you could put some peanut butter on a wooden spoon, lick, 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 bring it up.
Okay.
And then touch, lick, 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 bring it up. So you can do stuff like that. You can modify. But generally speaking, if you teach them touch, they'll actually put their nose up there. So they can reach up, or he could start to dance and reach up, right? Okay, there. It's not that bad. Good, very good. So eye contact, which is and this is why when you can come to class, this is what you do. So jumping will never work, and it gets my eyes to go away. But what will work, Parker, yes, it's just that simple behavior. It's like, man, because habits come out, so his habit is jumping. We've just got to reestablish a new habit. So you absolutely never give him attention for that, or we step on it. Like, again, if he's being really super obnoxious at first coming home, just step on the leash, or we put a lure in front of him. But then, no, well, Mom is he's at the gate. Parker! Oh, Parker. Oh, I was don't worry about it. He was starting to head this way. There, yeah. Good. Nice. He's like, what? And that's also why I don't try to say, and I also don't say things more than once. So, you know, if I say it once and they don't respond, I'm going to get them to do the behavior, and then I might in this beginning stage still yes and pay for it because I think that he doesn't truly understand it. Or as we go on, I just don't pay for it. If I have to get you to come on call, I did the work, I might as well eat the cheese, which I don't recommend. So, not going to spend my dog's off anyway. Maybe not. Off, yes. Did you see what I do with my hands? Or another modification is simply off. Yes. I like to use a physical behavior because it's really easy for kids to do if you have children coming over or friends coming over, or even if you're walking in the door. What do most people do? Off. What? Yes, there you go. He's starting to understand. Yes, what? I think I heard a yes. I'm not sure anything else right now, but I think I heard a yes. And that's all. How often have you taught him the yes game? Never, right? These are the first few repetitions. But then I moved to another new spot. Off. Yes. I need a pay. Was my treat on me? No. Another new spot. Good. If he makes a mistake, same things happen. It's perfect height, actually. Good. Off. Yes. Is it what? You get minimum wage for that. He's like, yeah. I'll work for it, but it's not quite cheese. Can you whistle or no? Okay, there you go. Now call it. Yes. Yes. Now, and just, yep, turn, and then you just feed him when he's on the ground. Do you still have food or no? That's okay. I'll get you some. You can reload. Use your cheese too. But kind of making sense so far? How we're working the dog? So the dog that came out to the dog that you see now, can you hear it, baby? Right? I mean, still jumping. The habits are going to be still there. Like smoking, things like that takes a while, right? Good. Off. Yes. Very good. Well, you had the treat that time too, so that helped. Maybe. So, very good. That'll be a nice picture. Good. Off. Yes. Very good. Wow. Nice job. He's like, what? It's okay. Off. Yes. Good boy. Do I require eye contact for everything? No. Like recall? I won't require it because he's probably going to come and touch, or he's just going to come racing to me as fast as he can. If he offers it, by all means, right? By all means, let's pay it. Off. Yes. Good job. Very nice. So eye contact, coming when called, off. What about quiet? Who has barkers? So the time to teach quiet is when they're actually quiet. So tonight, he's going to be really confused because all this is really fast together, and you're just going to space it out so he starts understanding, just like all of our dogs. But again, if I move to a new spot, quiet, yes, and pay. Then move to another new spot. Quiet. He's like, where are we going? He's like, that's the way home. Quiet, yes, there you go. And didn't jump. Good, very nice. Off. Yes. Good boy. I can capture moments that are good, right? Every good decision. So if he looks up at you too and he's not jumping, you can always do quiet, you can always do Parker. You are allowed to participate. But I know you're learning too. She's like, wait a minute, now you're doing it too much. Yeah, perfect. That's exactly is your job. Like as soon as he jumps up, because he's so in the habit of, let's go, let's do something. Oh, the tag. He's like, wait. Yes. There you go. Good. But kind of makes sense even for quiet. 3 to 5 minutes of just going to every room of your house for quiet. Yes. There you go. Move to your spot. Quiet. Yes. And he's just thinking, sit here and look cute. All right, I got it. Because then, quiet, off, sit, they all look the same. But through repetitions and habit and physical, basically physical cues that you're doing, they're going to start understanding. If you're on the phone talking to somebody, hey, whatever, and I do this all the time with students. My dogs will start barking at something, right? But I'll just go, yes. I know. It's a fluke, don't worry. But that's what I do on the phone. Like, okay, well, hang on one second. Oh my God, oh, sorry. Okay, all right, what were we saying? I do it all the time because they understand what quiet means, and it's a physical cue for them at this point where I don't have to be like, quiet! Sometimes that happens. Okay, we're human. I can't say I've never yelled at my dogs because I have. I said, no, we're quiet. You want the potty? You want to potty? Do you want to take him outside? Yeah, would you mind? I'm just wondering if maybe that's also why. And I can give you some treats too if you want to work on off for just a second. But even like a couple minutes, see if he's got a pee. We won't cover too much of that way for this. Just for a couple minutes. We'll just intermission for a second. Because then he went to the fan and he was like, and I'm like, you a leg lifter? I really have to go, Mom. And if he's faking it, that's fine, just bring him back in. But kind of making sense so far. So eye contact, name recognition, quiet, off, all of those are starter homeworks. When she brings him back in, the sit, the down, and touch, because we kind of started touch. All of them can be practiced for 3 to 5 minutes, one concept at a time, and using those 4 steps. And then as you start to see that they're getting it better and better, so after the class next week even, we start combining some of them. If you have no time to train during the week, come to class knowing your dog's going to be just slightly behind, but then just put in some more effort and they will get it. And they're also going to be highly distracted. So come into class again with a purpose, with a hungry dog. As he became more comfortable, now he's eating better. It's going to happen at class next week. You know, oh, I didn't feed him dinner and I brought high value and the dog's not eating. It's normal. It's going to be barky. It's going to be whiny. It's going to be chaos. It's going to be normal. And then week 3 is going to be even better. Week 4 is going to be even better, and the dog is going to settle as they get better foundation. So you guys have to put in some effort though with the consistency to teach them that all of this applies. So don't just be in the house. If you can, walk out to the backyard. On your walks, I actually don't take my dogs for walks until I teach them how to walk. So you might want to say for the next week, train your dog just in your yard and on the driveway and teach them, and just walk up and down the driveway teaching them. Get them their 20-minute walk just at home. Because the more they pull, same concept as the jumping, the more they're going to. So if you kind of start teaching them, hey, you work every time we're outside, then when we start leash skills next week, you're going to find it's a lot easier to work with them because they're going to go outside with a purpose and go, oh, we're leaving the yard? We're going to the next house? And then we can start teaching them how to walk nice. So go out with a purpose. But all of that being said, is what you focus on the most is what they're going to also remember. If you don't really care about laying down, don't worry about it. I'm going to be honest. I'm not going to quiz you at the end of next week's class and say, if they don't down, you're failing. I'm not. You have to implement what works for you. I rarely teach sitting down. Like, that's one of the last things. My bulldog, so I have a new bulldog. I adopted him because I fostered him. He had aggression issues. I got fostered him for rescue, and I'm now a failure. Because I adopted him. But he doesn't know how to sit. He barely just started sitting. But he will come when called, he will touch, and he will not be aggressive, he will check it out, he will be quiet. I don't care about sitting down. He will wait at the gate in a stand. Like, I don't really care. It's what you focus on and what you want in your household that matters. So I'm going to go over all these things, but in all honesty, if you're like, again, if he doesn't want to sit right now, we can modify it in a stand or down. If you really want to sit, then we work on sitting. But if he's like, no, and you're like, it doesn't really matter for what I'm doing, teach him a good solid down stay. If he knows how to, and then we get to stays, don't worry. But like, he downs, teach him down, really start working on it, and then that's what we go to. Hey, because a down in motion is just as good as a sit in motion. It stops him, okay? So what you focus on, what you want to focus on, you can personalize your own program. And if you're not quite sure how to do it, you can always ask me, okay? But that's what I want you to kind of realize. Yes?
What is the purpose of the touch?
Excellent question. Can I wait for her to come back in? Is that
yes.
Okay?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, all right, perfect. Good question. Wait for her.
Okay.
Yes.
What if we do if next week our dogs come in and they just want to, do this pull into the group of dogs and they're barking and doing that? Not mean.
So no nose-to-nose contact. So your job is to keep them away. You are spaced out enough. There's not going to be nose-to-nose contact. I was come in with maybe half a leash, like just hang on to half the leash and attach it to your hip. We cover some of that next week too. Like I see as a dog's like it. It's normal.
Yeah.
Don't worry about it. Like I would be like, don't worry about it next week. As much as you can, bring like chicken and cheese so that your dog's like, screw the dogs, I don't care. That's really what I want the dog doing. But if they're not quite like that, that's okay. Like just give them that 1 to 3 minutes. Yep. Come on, eat or no?
It's just me.
Okay. Well, he's not used to training. He's like, this is the weirdest daycare ever. I'm like, come on, this is the weirdest daycare ever. You came in and I don't know what we're doing now. Yeah, so same rules apply. Oh. So, does this treat work? Oh, yeah, look at that. Oh, hi. Off. Yes. Very good. So the question, when you were outside too, was what is the purpose of touch? I'm going to cover that real quick. The purpose of touch for me is to get the dog to come all the way back to me. If they come all the way back to me and have a surface to actually touch, and he wants to stay over here, that's okay. He has some slight anxiety.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Just let you know. I'm okay with, again, like that's, so we just ignore, I would still do the same things, like ignore and turn so that he doesn't continue. But then he goes, all right, fine, she's here. It's okay. I'm sorry, I'm so offensive. Whoop. Off, good off. But because he made a little bit of a mistake, we'll wait and see if he stays that way. But the purpose of touch is to get them all the way to come back to me. Or get them to come back. Get them to come all the way back to me. Wrong way. Get them to come all the way back to me. If I call them and I say just come and they go, halfway and go away, at least then I have, if I said touch, later on there can be consequences, and consequences can mean to me a verbal no. Like I might be like, come, and they're like, no. Oh, she was serious. I don't need other rehearsals to give me a verbal no. But my tone will change and I'll say no. But right now, I just want him to think that putting your nose close to my fingers means a treat. It's really cool. Touch, yes. Because eventually, Parker, come, touch, yes. You see how close he gets that way? But eventually, and this is another homework that you can work on, it's a really easy homework, is actually the collar game. So if I hold the treat and I just go collar, yes, and pay him, then I can start going, come, touch, collar, yes. And now I can clip on a leash and take him somewhere. You see, instead of the catch me if you can game, collar means to touch the collar, touch means to get your nose over here. And right now, 3,000 plus times you get paid for it. So the one time I need it, it's there. The one time I need the dog not running across the street to get hit by a car, those 6,000 repetitions of come and called are gonna matter. I want the dog to stop, or to come touch, or to just put on the brakes and down. That's why. The more tools in your toolbox that get them close to you, touch, yes, good job. And then collar, yes, good job. He's thinking this lady is very, very strange. I am off. Lovely, yes. You like the freeze dried? Or is it as a cheese? You're a high roller.
It took 6 months to get food that he would eat.
Really? Oh. Okay. Well, apparently you never cheese. No. Good. Off. And a freebie. Off. You think I dropped it? Yes. Good. So the collar game, I did forget that one somewhere, is even more so for me. There's that easy and paw. But if I take him and then I start luring him, collar, yes. I can start telling him that even if someone grabs you by the collar and moves you, it's not a problem, it's a good thing. So if I have to grab them suddenly, or heaven forbid, you're ever in an accident or you need somebody to grab your dog did run away, they're less likely to bite, even if that person doesn't say collar, because they're used to someone just grabbing their collar quick, okay? And even in daycare here, sometimes you have to just, come here, I'm gonna go this way. So we teach them that it's fun. Like, hey, collar, let's go play. What do you think? There, collar, yes. Collar, yes. So it just becomes a game. And so that's an important, easy thing that you can do, because even if you come to class next week and they're not doing anything, you can be doing touch, you can be doing collar, and it's a way for them to get paid pretty quickly without requiring obedience. Sit down. I have to look at you. I really want to look at that dog. How about if we just touch your collar? For cheese? All right, sure. No, make it easy. Yes. You think he understands the yes now?
Yes.
So the final two would be the sit and the down, which you might have already started, I'm assuming. But in default behavior, because off, a sit is fine with off, right? In a default behavior like sit, a lot of dogs default to a sit. As soon as they do it, of course, it's all right. See, and you look at them like, I know it's a habit, right? You know it's a habit. So you have to go, and roll your eyes. Like seriously, I make it a game. Anybody who even encounters the dogs that jump, I go, roll your eyes, look and feel, and just play. Because then the dog goes, fine. Because he's half-hearted that time, right? Good. Sit, yes. Then I go over here. I can lure, maybe, into an SIT, but pull the lure away. When he looks at me, sit, yes, and pay. I can lure to my left side, and hopefully get that nose up so that butt goes down. And when he looks at me, sit, yes, and he gets paid. My definition of sit is butt on ground and eye contact, because this is the paycheck, it's the last thing I want to worry about, right? So if he learns to just sit and look, then I don't have to have the food on me until after I say yes. Hi. Touch? Yes. See, I was like scooting his buddy, like, don't jump. Try not to with her. Never works. Reminder, never works. Off. Yes. But it can be quick. So the more you ignore it, and the more you pay for the good behavior, it's still gonna come out here and there. If I get excited, it won't. Okay. You know, if you hit a head a little swallowing. I always watch, because sometimes you don't get. You swallow it all the way. The better. Need an extra one? There's an extra one. Make it go down. Okay. See? Sucker. No drink? Hey Madison, can you just grab a quick bowl for water? Would you be able to grab a bowl for us for water? Thank you so much. Did you drink? So the sit is in front with eye contact, the sit is on the right with eye contact, the sit is on the left with eye contact, for 3 to 5 minutes, every room of the house, going outside for 3 to 5 minutes, going in the car for 3 to 5 minutes, everywhere that you're going to apply sit, then I would like to have it applied. Parker, come, touch, yes, good job. And fluke, right? In many ways that's a fluke, but if I'm, good, off, yes. I really want to just give you my paw now. I know this one. But if I teach it everywhere, then even like the vet's office, go to your vet for a cookie visit. Most vets will allow you to go in and just train in the reception room. And then you make it a positive experience at the vet office because you're getting lots of rewards for just easy stuff. And it's a great distraction area. I call her head mate, thank you so much. Yeah. She's just like, ah. Hello. Hi. Parker, come. Yes. Want a drink? See how that works? Reward water. I don't know. No. Thank you. You joke me. I want a cheese. Hey, I offered. Yeah.
I'm surprised.
Yeah. Well, not a lot. Did you see that there is some in there? You need a hand. Sucker. He's working well. It's that bonus program. But so then the final one would be the down. Have you ever worked with him on down? Or from a sit or from a stand? Is he jumping on you? No. Okay. Making sure. Do I gotta step on your leash again? I'll give you some freedoms. I've given you some freedoms. He's like, can I just, fine, give me your paw. Yes. I give you the small piece for that one. But I want the big one. So if I lure him into a down, which I'm assuming is probably there, I pull the lure away, and a lot of times then I would use my hand cue, whether it's the finger point or the flat hand, and I see if he'll look at me, like the flat hand. But so if I have the food down, I pull the food away, I just wait and see what he does. If your dog, like if you have a puppy that's not as patient, then I would start with just this, which we'll do. Good. Down. Yes. And then pay. But I would ideally like to see eye contact from that position. So whether you're doing it from a sit or a stand, doesn't matter. Pull the food away. I show the hand cue. And then I see how much he remembers. Down. Yes. Right? So that first one just gives him that, oh, at least I'm doing it right. And that second one's like, all right, well, what am I missing? Like, oh yeah, she needs eye contact. The lady needs so much attention. I'm a sarcastic and jokester person, so feel free. But there's the lure comes away, the hand cue comes out. Down, yes. And the dog gets paid. So definition first, then the cue or the phrase, then the yes, and then the paycheck. Because that way, ideally, I can start standing up. And usually I just do the hand. Down, yes. And we can pay the bill. And eventually it'll just be this, and you don't have to pay, right? So very good starting. Settle, yes. Settle, yes. Remember what my settle was? It flipped. He's like, you just sit on it.
It's right behind him.
There you go. Look, right there. Now he has cheese in his mouth, sorry. Off. Yes, beautiful. So questions for any of those? Eye contact, come when called, touch, primary top 3 that you want to work on. Sitting down, perfect if you can get to those. Sit ideally, we use a little bit more, but down if you don't get to it, it's okay. I'd still try if you can. But then also quiet and off, because those 2 are important. The collar game is something really easy that you can do in the middle of a commercial break once a night and just play the collar game, because then it's 3 minutes of just fun stuff. But any questions? I'm not going to hold you hostage. If you do have questions, I think we're going to talk about house training afterwards. If anyone's interested in house training, I have a 10-minute kind of conversation with that probably. If you're still having house training issues, and just any other questions, you can address them too. Nope. Okay. So then I also will send you all of this, and kind of as a recap, like I said, and all the homework is on there. If as you go, what you're seeing, because I also will have a link for the video that I took of Mr. Parker. He goes.